I'm Midnight Agent Raw.
And I'm Okame.
We are the Super Media Bros podcast, and we are founding members of the OddPods Media Network.
I'm Rob.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Joe.
I love it.
I think it's kind of meh.
And I've never seen it.
We're keeping up with the Cardassians.
A podcast covering 7 seasons of Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
But that's not it. We go down the wormhole
Of pop culture, life, and Garrick
New episodes every Monday.
on your favorite podcasting platforms. You can also interact with the show on Twitter at CardassiansPod.
And just like the Ferengi, we can't wait to stroke your lobes.
Teaching lessons.
Slimy, filthy balloons.
Getting lost.
All that and more.
Cody, how many times can we cut and paste something into a movie?
Yes.
Super Media Bros.
Perfect.
I see that reaction on every fucking, YouTube comment.
How many times can we do this? Yes. Just the answer is yes for this episode, everybody.
But did we succeed? No.
Not even close. Welcome to episode 186 of the Super Media Bros podcast. I'm Midnight Agent Raw.
And I'm Okame.
Cult Cinema Showdown 80. Number 80. Holy shit, we've made it to 80. There's 20 more to go until 100. And for this one, we brought along some special guests. We actually got to do a spot on their show. One of these movies was brought up in question and conversation and so much more. We're doing Cobra versus Ninja Strike Force this week, but we couldn't do it alone. So we brought Dillon, Kory, and Kendall from the middle. What's up, guys?
Hey.
Hey.
What's up?
Fucking hanging out and about to talk about some really cutty and pasty ninja shit. God, this was...
I don't know why. I just imagine stripper ninjas with pasties.
I would have rathered that.
Just they don't.
So this was my first introduction to the cut and paste genre, the Godfrey Ho stuff. So this was a rude and harsh introduction into that world. I'm 37 and I didn't even know it was a thing.
Sadly, there's no way to lube the introduction up at all. It's either rough or nothing. It's Nerf or nothing, dude.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Is there a good direction you could point us to say, hey, if you want good copy paste stuff?
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the television series.
Really?
Yeah, the entire thing was the entire thing was a Super Sentai series from Japan, and how they would do it is they changed the characters around for almost every other season. And for the American version, they took all the American actors and then they put them in the high school situation, and then they would film them in the suits with Zordon and all that shit. But then all the fight scenes and all the Zords and all that stuff, that's from Japan.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
So there's the correct way to do it, and then there's the Godfrey Ho way of doing it, where he's like, how many films can I put out in a year? Yes.
Yeah, because Dylan's comment earlier, we were talking before we started recording with you guys, and he's like, I felt like I was watching 2 movies, and I was like, you very much were.
Well, see, for everybody, including y'all here, this is the only way I can explain these 2 films, right? Imagine your mom recording her favorite Lifetime movie back in the day on those old VHSs where you actually record, and your son goes in, records the Power Rangers fight scenes, but only the fight scenes over that same movie. And then she goes to watch it and literally sees the Power Rangers fights in the middle of her drama.
That's the perfect description.
That is it.
And then as a third layer, somebody says, okay, now your challenge is to try to tie these things together with dialogue. Go.
And so begins Cobra versus Ninja.
I'll start grabbing the string and putting it on the wall here. Okay, where does this tie into here?
So Cobra versus Ninja. Both of these movies, I should preface, are directed by Joseph Lai and Godfrey Ho, who was uncredited for obvious fucking reasons. My theory is that Joseph Lai, I would like to think, is Asian American and was like, the guy responsible for getting the American actors involved in all these movies, and then he took whatever Godfrey Ho had filmed and put all his shit in, which is why it's uncredited.
So his last name's appropriate.
He's a fucking hoe. He's a hoe and a liar.
Lie.
He's a liar. Okay, there we go.
Just one big lie.
Okay, so the plot, and I'm saying this just because I know the five of us are going to laugh our asses off at this shit. Cobra, who is a ninja, is making high-stakes bets on ninja duels involving Gordon the Red Champion. Gordon has trained 4 men after returning to civilian life that end up involved in a world of organized crime. I lost track of every one of these motherfuckers that got involved in organized crime. I lost track of who was who, and I'm sure y'all did too.
It's funny you say that. After the movie, I went back and read the IMDb description, and it didn't jive at all with what I knew I had just watched. I'm like, I don't even remember, like, the beginning of this movie is like a Power Rangers intro, funny enough that you say that. And then I don't even remember the description other than I was so caught off guard by the ninja being called Gordon. I'm expecting some sort of authentic name, and it's like the same name as like your math teacher. Like, hey, Mr. Gordon, what's going on? And that's like our hero. And so, yeah, that doesn't jive at all with what I remember seeing.
It's Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon.
Yeah, the only Gordons I think of are Flash Gordon and Gordon the Tank Engine from Thomas and Friends.
Or Gordon Freeman.
Yeah.
What was Ninja Gordon Ramsay?
Oh.
That would work much better
Yeah.
than whatever, Ronald McNinja.
Ronald McGoddamn Donald.
The guy, like, I imagine Gordon, the ninja, being what Hulk Hogan would be if Hulk Hogan were a ninja.
He pointed that out earlier. We were talking about that shit. It's literally putting Hulk Hogan in the fucking ninja film.
Yeah, I said it's Ninja
that's
Hulk
what
Hogan.
They did, yeah.
Yeah, well, and the other movie has like this dude, or I don't know, fuck, I lost whatever movie it was, but one of the movies has a fight scene with him and a dude in like purple sparkly kind of attire, and I was like, it's fucking Hogan versus Ric Flair.
Yeah, that's the next one. That's Ninja Strike Force. I thought the same thing. Yeah, going back to the premise though, like, okay, I got the 4 guys returning to civilian life piece at the very beginning. I got that there was organized crime involved, but I had no idea that it was Gordon, our man Richard Harrison, who was training all of them. The plot was so twisty.
It had twists and turns and unexpected because there was no way for you to know what was going on in the first place, but still unexpected. High in action. There's a suitcase involved. I feel like there's always a suitcase involved.
Yeah, and then to confuse matters, you had like 17 characters with a name that started with R. There's Raymond, Ringo, Russell, like, and they're all somehow in this organized crime syndicate. And I'm like, who is what, and why are there Australian accents for these Asian actors? Please, someone explain.
You forgot Ronald, the other R, because Ronald McDonald.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ronald McNinja.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this whole film just felt muddy in like concept because like y'all were saying, one half of it was mostly ninjas just fighting each other. And then the other half was just, I literally called like 32 Asians and there was no names behind them. It was just 32 Asians in randomly spots pretty much.
You start like numbering them after a while as they appear on screen. It's like, okay, here's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. And then you have Ninja Master Gordon. That's his freaking name in the credits is Ninja Master Gordon. And he only kind of like pops up here and there. He makes his little cameo in the suit and then like outside of the suit. But the other plot points that made me laugh were actually when they wound up getting involved in the crime. Because I don't know. It's not even explicitly implied as to were these guys like pure of heart before, or were they always just kind of naturally like, they were just kind of skeevy from the jump, you know?
But you don't really get that exposition every 5 minutes.
So you're waiting for a sequel, in other words.
Honestly, like all the films.
Or a prequel.
Yeah, honestly, all the films that Gordon the Ninja Master is involved with, it felt like a bunch of sequels anyway.
Are they supposed to tie together? I mean, maybe this is a dumb like question just because I don't understand Godfrey Ho and what he's doing, but like, are these supposed to loosely tie together, or does Richard Harrison just really like Hulk Hogan colors, really like the name Gordon, and that's the only connective tissue?
Is there a Gordon story arc?
Well, here's what I think happened. I think that Richard Harrison did probably, I would go ahead and say maybe he did 3 or 4 of these movies. He shot enough footage for them to be able to cut and paste wherever they needed him to be. And the guy was like, hey, I've got like, I don't know, I'm just ballparking it. The guy's probably like, I've got 50 hours of this guy on film. I can make 30 movies out of this shit. And all I got to do is just sprinkle him in to the plot points of other foreign films or other films of mine that I can't even complete. So here we go. Let's do this.
Now it's your job.
That makes a lot of sense because I think he's in this movie like less than like a minute and a half combined, like his actual face.
And it's the same thing with Stuart Smith, the guy that plays Cobra.
Yeah.
Yeah, you only really see him like 3 times in the whole film.
Wait, are we not going to talk about how it says ninja on their headband? Are we?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's so that just so that you know.
Yeah, like in case you didn't know, they are ninjas.
I didn't realize that actual ninjas had a silhouette of a ninja on their headbands as well.
No, you guys are wrong. Some are ninjas and some are ninjas.
Right. I forget. I don't know about Asian culture.
Are you the nin or are you the ja? I am both.
I am both. I have earned my way to both nin and ja.
Listen, they don't have time to explain setting it make plot make sense to you, Dillon.
Listen, Dillon, they're not going to dumb it down for you, okay?
They're gonna open with the movie. I think the first line of the movie was, and I quote, "Ninja."
There's like Asian He-Man.
Also, since they weren't going to dumb it down for me, here's 2 more questions that I have from the beginning. What is a ninja challenge card? It's like
my favorite thing.
It's like they have like a Vegas fight sheet, and it's like nobody knew about it. And then, was I mistaken? Was there a mailman ninja who threw a metal shiny Ninja Star piece of mail?
Okay,
was that a Ninja Star envelope that was metal and shiny?
So that point, yes, he is literally the United States Postal Service of ninjas. But did y'all also, okay, I don't know if I had literally the same mindset as y'all do or vice versa or whatever, but whenever he threw that smoke bomb or that explosion, my first thought was lemon. He was throwing a lemon at somebody's forehead. And I don't know why, it just, a yellow fucking bomb.
A drive-by fruiting.
Yeah. Like even the way they set it up was for comedy. It seems because like he's behind a bush, and you slowly see this guy in a ninja outfit peeking up from behind a bush, and then after you see him, you slowly see a hand come in, holding what looks to be like a yellow racquetball, and you can't not go when that happens.
But it's so funny.
And then he throws it, and then it explodes. And you're like, wait, that was a bomb?
Yeah. But also, what was funny was the guy that saw it, like, he somehow knew it was coming before it was thrown.
They're trying to get me to... He just looked, he's like, they're trying to get me to not have kidney stones anymore. I can't do that. And he just dodges it. It's like, I heard lemon water helps with your health. I can't be healthy. Fuck that. And just ducks it completely.
But no, the Ninja Challenge card, think of it this way. It's like a buy 10, get 1 free. So they have like a punch system, right? When they kill ninjas. And it's like kill 10 ninjas, get a free katana.
It's like the Smoothie King of ninjas, dude.
Yeah. I need to complete my challenge card.
And then there's... I enjoy that the entire plot, if you want to call it that, of this movie begins on a premise where they just literally explain it to you in 2 sentences and just want you to accept it, that there's a such thing as a ninja challenge card, and if another ninja receives this card from someone else, they absolutely positively cannot, no questions, turn it down. It's just that, I'll give him the ninja challenge card. He'll have to fight me. Oh, okay.
Show me your balls.
It's like fucking Yu-Gi-Oh shit. It's like, you summon my challenge card.
Just waiting on the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Ninja Gordon wants to fight.
So they essentially based a whole movie. They got a plot started with like a double dog dare. And then there's a bunch of overdubbing for an hour and a half.
Oh my God.
Can we talk about the fact that at one point, and I had this written down, at one point, The overdubbing sounds like 1940s gangsters because they're sitting there just like, see, like the way their voices sounded was just like that.
The 32 Asians were actually Italian mobsters, yes.
I kept laughing out loud at the dubbed non-dialogue. So like the umphs and the grunts and like the weird like side noises that they were dubbing over.
It's like they have a girl get asked the question and she's like,
It's like the Foley artist and the people running the ADR were like, we have to let everything happen.
Mm-hmm.
There cannot even be a step in the grass. If they step in dog shit, you will know.
Yeah.
They step in and like,
There was those voiceover actors. Those voiceover actors came from two places, either Australia or Queens.
Yeah.
Because one of the girls had like this heavy New York accent. Here's a whole other thing, and this isn't like a hacky, like certain people from a certain continent tend to look alike. But in doing my homework for this episode with y'all, I listened to another podcast break this movie down, and they were like, typically you would want your actors to look somewhat distinguishable from one another. In this one, they all have the same haircut. They all have the same skin tone. I don't know who's supposed to be who anymore. Not to mention everybody has a name that starts with R. Like at least in the other movie, and I know we're going to get into that in a second. At least in the second movie, I could somewhat follow the plot. This one, I didn't. I literally had no idea what was going on when it was the 1970s movie.
Wow, Kory. You know what else starts with R? Racist.
I saw that coming. I think
Unbelievable.
I think the only distinguishable Asian was, I think his name was Scorpio. The guy with the naked lady tattoo on his chest.
Oh my God. Okay, so, dude, Cody, you pointed this out too. So many random fights happen in this movie for no fucking reason.
Every 5 minutes, there was like a fight scene over the most dumbest shit.
Well, like the old guy that got just fucking...
I can't remember the guy's name. It was the one that was being recruited. He was being escorted to the base or the organization or whatever. And he pissed off another lackey to the point where they were fist fighting, and he punched the old guy that was literally driving them to this place. And I'm like, what the fuck did he do to you?
He's like sitting there, excuse me, sir, can I have a tip? Oh, just throat punch him.
He's like a referee in a wrestling match. It's just like, you just chose to get involved.
I have to say, though, a bit of violence. I don't remember which character lost their mother. But one of the lines I picked up on, one of the quotes was literally, "Mom, who killed you? Who did this to you?"
Dude, oh my God. Look, when that scene happened, have any of y'all heard of Neil Breen or Fateful Findings? I think we may have talked about this before.
No.
Okay, so there's this scene in that movie, and this is all over YouTube, so you can find it. There's a scene in this movie where this dude gets shot. Like, this dude's girlfriend gets pissed off and fucking kills him in his garage. Well, Neil Breen's character runs in, and she made it look like a suicide. So Neil Breen runs over to this guy. He's over him, and he's like, Jim! Oh, God, Jim! And he picks him up, and it's the most god-awful dialogue, and there's blood all over him, and he, like, wipes it on his own face, and he's like, I can't believe you committed suicide. I cannot believe you committed suicide. Jim, how could you have done this? How could you have committed suicide? After all we've been through, I cannot pull you out of this one, Jim. I cannot. And that's just so dry. And
now you've done did it.
That's the first thing that I thought about when he's like, Mom, who did this to you? Like, so stupid.
Mom, who killed you? Who did this to you?
I can't pull you out of this one, but I can pull you out of this noose.
God.
I'll get you next time.
Right. So, Mom, what are you doing just hanging around? You were supposed to be cleaning the house. What the fuck?
She was cleaning the fan, and she got caught up in it.
Shit.
Whoops. My scarf got caught. Oh, shit.
I told you not to buy it. I knew this would happen.
We had a guest, son. I'm sorry.
Oh, it was so bad.
Now, there is some pretty futuristic, I think, technology used in this film. Some state-of-the-art timed bombs toward the end of this film. And yet another suitcase. There's 2 suitcases in this movie.
Yeah, clearly the first suitcase was just MIA for like majority of the film.
you have a bunch of guys fighting over a suitcase and nobody knows where it is. And I don't even know exactly like why this suitcase is so important. At first I thought it just had money in it, and then I heard somebody talking about evidence or something. I don't even know. I don't know why the suitcase was so damn important.
Yeah, basically it was evidence against the entire gang that was running against all the booking shit.
Oh, okay.
And the funny part about the briefcase is a dude literally loses his fucking arm over it, and then the dude that takes it gets hit by a car. That's how important this briefcase is. Within a 5-second radius, the dude loses his arm, another guy gets hit by a car over it.
Yeah, I saw that, so I was like, all right, important suitcase. I missed why. I missed why I care about this suitcase.
It also seems like they used the same exact suitcase for the bombs. Like, they just happened to find the original suitcase, and they're like, we don't need these documents anymore. We need this for the bombs.
That's like Batman level shit, the bombs.
It's like fucking James Bond kind of shit.
Dude,
I have to say, though, I had Hulk Hogan and Snake Eyes fighting 3 different times throughout this movie was the most exciting part. But after seeing some of the beach fighting, I feel like I need more beach fighting scenes in action movies now. I was kind of impressed. Yeah. I mean, as much as you can be impressed with the film, like the beach fighting scenes were almost interesting. I don't know. That's one thing I'll give to the movie. I found it felt very Bond-like. That very much could have happened in a Bond movie. Like this whole beach showdown and the gadgets with the explosives and the briefcase. Obviously a bad version of Bond, like one that would never get made, but like the premise.
There was a couple of things that I kept laughing at, though, for sure, was the fact that after every time Ninja Master Gordon fought somebody, he did the same hand motion where it looked like he was giving everybody the middle finger and then backflipping into non-existence. Like he would just disappear.
Yeah.
There.
Oh, that was magical.
Also,
and so much lowering your mask after you kill someone.
Yep.
It's ninja code.
There's this one guy that he's picking up. I don't know if y'all noticed this or not. Like when I don't even remember who the hell it was. It was one of the original like 4 ninjas that gets, into the, scheme of, I'm going to be a bad dude and work for these guys. Now, like he comes off of this train. The guy that he meets has a fucking crochet tie. Like the red tie that he's wearing, where he looks down and he sees that golden medallion symbol. It is a crocheted fucking tie. I want to know who they hired where they were like, we need to cut costs. Somebody knit this man a tie. I don't have the fucking budget to spend $10, $15 on a tie for this man.
They probably like had a crochet blanket with them, like on set or in somebody's trailer.
So they just cut the shape of a tie.
They just cut a tie.
Like a Barney Rubble.
People had trailers.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm talking about their homes, Kory.
Oh.
But also I noticed too, whenever someone in the film says they're going to do something, it literally split second next it happens. Like when the home dude said, I'm going to go rustle up some work. He literally is like next scene rustling up some work.
And then again, that same time where that guy gets off the train, I don't know if any of you have noticed this. And if it wouldn't have been for the fact that I caught a specific guitar note melody, when he's meeting with the head honcho, after he gets off the train and he shows up at that, it looks like a training facility or some crap, and he's meeting with the head boss. In the background, they are using Echo's Part 1 from Pink Floyd's Live at Pompeii movie. I know they didn't pay for this.
No.
It's just there. Because I heard this guitar and I was like, that really sounds like David Gilmour. Then I rewound it and I was like, that's Live at Pompeii. And then I pulled it up on YouTube and I played it and I was like, oh my God, they totally fucking just ripped that and put it in there.
Dare you.
It's funny you say that though. The redeeming quality of the movie was the soundtrack for me. Like I could go back and listen to the soundtrack. That's about all.
Oh yeah, the music was good. And that's kind of a weird thing that it tends to do that. Most of the movies we talk about that are like this, the music is 9 times out of 10 pretty good.
I just want to make a quick point to the people, if I may. We're all joking around and having fun, and it might sound to you as though this is a movie that you should go see because it's so bad that you can have fun and laugh about it with your friends. And I think what all of us are more accurately doing is laughing about it because we have to do something after subjecting ourselves to the snoozer of like it was so bad.
Yeah.
Do not recommend it's not one of those you're going to laugh at as you're watching it. It's one of those you're just going to have to find out how to laugh if someone else watched it, and none of your friends watched this one. So I just want to put that public service announcement out there. Don't you should let a rat run up your kilt instead of watching this movie.
And think about the fact that we do this almost every other week, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was we were talking about this, us from the middle guys before the show. We're like, this is our first one, and it was painful to get through these movies. You guys do this all the freaking time. Is this genre especially bad? Or do you guys feel like this all the time, like you want to buy all that time back?
Oh, I mean, 80 episodes of this into it. I don't know how many brain cells I have left, so it's kind of hard for me to rewind and get those brain cells back.
And it's probably why we keep going further and further and further into how terrible can we get? Because we do have really good movies we talk about. We do have, those middle range where it's like, it was tolerable. Then you have shit like this where it's, oh my God, we are gonna suffer.
It felt like it's a nonstop drinking soiree. Like you're literally just chugging beers constantly, and you're just constantly staying drunk, and you're getting drunker and drunker, and yeah, it's just you're never gonna get sober.
But that's how, I don't know, these movies are how depression happens. I legitimately thought about texting Kory and Dillon and being like, 5 minutes into the movie, can we cancel?
Worst cancel
I
culture.
can't commit to this.
Well, so it's funny when you guys were on our podcast and this movie came up, right? I think I said in that episode, I must have watched the first 10 minutes and then I turned it off because it was so bad. And after watching the whole thing this time, I don't think I made it 2 minutes into this before turning it off as a kid, because the only thing I remembered was about the first 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Everything else was just unfortunately new. And I will say, I guess maybe I should give him credit for this. I don't typically hear something in a movie and wonder how the sound effect was made. But Kendall was talking about those explosives. And when that entire body gets blown up on the beach from one of the explosives, whatever sound effect they use for the body parts hitting the ground, that kind of moist splash and thud all at the same time. I've never sat and thought about, I really don't know what they could have used to make that sound.
You can probably fresh ground, no bullshit, thawed out ground beef, wet chicken, watermelon, literally any of that stuff. You could have like a plastic bag of water, like a Ziploc bag of water, let it just go splat, like any of that shit. But I don't know. I don't even want to know with the budget that this movie didn't have of what they fucking had to do that.
No, there's
yeah. I mean, the final fight with Cobra and Ninja, it was like popping bubble wrap every time they punched each other. So that one sounded much more clear to me.
Yeah,
but
that one.
The whole body exploding was like rotten chicken thighs, like landing on wood or something. I don't know. It was pretty gnarly, dude.
It's like when Popeyes.
I like that you assume they're rotten.
Well, based on the budget, I don't know.
It's like
when
Popeyes,
a safe assumption.
It's like when Popeyes throws out raw chicken that's like expired, is thrown in the dumpster. That's the sound we need right there, boys.
Yeah. I think that was it, man.
Dumpster chicken.
But no, there were 2 points in this film about the dubbing that I was laughing my ass off. One, when they were torturing that cop, I don't remember his name, but they had that piece of coal and they gave it to Scorpio. The dub of his little giggle was so fucking stupid.
It's like the Wicked Witch of the fucking middle.
Something like that.
The Wicked Witch of the East.
Yeah, it was the Wicked Witch of the East, bro.
Yeah. Like he was so excited, like physically, but he was way more excited over the dub.
Mm-hmm.
And then the sister, okay, whenever she was kidnapped and she was being told about where's the briefcase and trying to get her brother to come and give it to him, the actress turned and looked, and she didn't look any distraught, any angry or anything like that, but the dub was like extremely pissy and like over the top. And I'm just like, what? I'm not believing this, because she was so stoic in person, but this person is like literally milking this emotion right now.
I want to talk about the quote of this movie. And I really mean the quote of this movie because it gets used a lot. I'm going to teach him a lesson, because that guy that sees that couple making out on his beach and he's like, I don't like that filth on my beach. Go teach him a lesson. Make sure he gets it well. Or when old boy that was going to assassinate his target finds out that it was Gordon, he was like, I can't kill Gordon. And he calls him and he's like, hey, they wanted me to kill you, blah, blah, blah. And Gordon's like, I'll teach him a lesson. And every goddamn person is going to teach somebody a lesson in this movie if they don't get their way.
They should have just told us as ninja lessons.
Yeah. Yeah. And then on top of all of that, the guy that goes like, okay, the random what I thought at first was a pointless sex scene. And then I realized it only literally existed in order for this dude to walk in and deliver some of the best fucking lines in this entire movie, which I was just like, are you kidding me? Like the way he said it. Who are you sleeping with? Where's the letter? The one Cobra gave you. Where is it? You're like, I don't know. I know you're lying. You gave it to the man. You just banged. Like the way he fucking was like, you just banged. Like, do they really say that over there? Yeah. You slimy, ugly whore of a bitch. And they just fucking blast her away. I was like, oh my God. Like that was probably the most actually violent area in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the midst of dudes getting their hands cut off, not bloody whatsoever. All these ninjas dying at random points in the random 20-second fight sequences sprinkled throughout the movie. The little taste of flavor, if you will, that we were
MSG
longing for.
Movies, yeah.
Yes. I don't like sluts who lie to me. Shoots. It's like, oh, dude, Jesus.
Not to mention, like I was talking about earlier with Scorpio, whenever Home Dude was fighting him in the, I think it was the bar or a restaurant or something like that. And he rips his shirt off and he sees a tattoo. He's like, oh, you're Scorpio. Yeah, that's right. And they just stop fighting.
Right. Because like that tattoo, like, I'm sure the three of y'all noticed this too. It said ninja under it. And it's like it's a tattoo, like of an outline of a naked woman. And it just says ninja under it. What?
So much labeling of ninjas in these two movies. Just so we're clear, guys.
Yes,
ninjas
that's
are
what
involved.
you're watching. Yes, they're at the end.
Just in case you didn't know.
Just a quick reminder.
Ninjas.
Ninja Against Ninja, the ninja sequel.
Well, to be fair, if you think about it from a TV standpoint, they go to commercial and then they come back and they try to fill people in. Hey, in case you're just tuning in, they might have assumed that people were falling asleep throughout the movie and wanted to just keep reminding them throughout the film, hey, still the one about ninjas.
Yeah. We understand that with this type of film that you make the decision to not pause it when you need to go take a piss. Yeah. So we understand that. I think you go to the microwave, pops in some popcorn. You didn't bother hitting the pause button.
That was a point that I brought up too when we were watching the first film. It just seems like every time you nod off from the, I guess you can call it the plot, the only time you will wake up is when you hear the whoosh, 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 ching, ching. I was like, oh, there's a ninja scene. Hold on 1 second. Let me wake up.
It's like you hear the fighting. Oh shit! But dude, at the end of this movie, though, because let's get there. Because fuck, there's really not much else. We're beating a dead ninja at this point.
Mm-hmm. With a ninja, with
another ninja. The instant the motherfuckers like raided that compound and they're like, oh yeah, the police are surrounded and the one dude is getting away and they're like, well, we got to go after him. And the dude just looks at his watch and he's just like, they should be getting to the boat any minute now. I fucking knew that son of a bitch was going to blow up. Those two girls, they're like, don't go, blah, blah, blah. You can retire. He's like, no, I got to go. And he just, violence on women, just smacks the crap out of him and swims out to this boat. And I'm like, oh, it better fucking blow up now. Mm-hmm. So he gets there and he's like, I've made it, and just fucking blows the hell up. Mm-hmm. Pieces everywhere. But I found it funny that just the top half of the boat blew up. Yeah. Not the bottom half, just the top, just a little bit off the top.
They can reuse the bottom of the boat for the next film.
Yeah, that dude blows the hell up. And then we finally get our Ninja Hogan versus Ninja Flair match that doesn't last very long. And he wins, because of course he does. Gordon wins. And he doesn't backflip into thin air. He just walks off because he's tired of backflips. And that's the end of Cobra versus Ninja. Because fuck.
Clearly Ninja wins.
Attention listeners from across the galaxy.
You don't have to yell. We're right here.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Do we have a pube problem?
We'll have belly button hair. Will that help with this?
Cody, was that an alien?
It's a very tiny alien.
He's
he's right there.
Oh, wow.
You'll still answer my question.
Yeah, it will.
Cool.
Are you ready for an out-of-world experience?
Wolf.
Look no further than the Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped.
Who is Manscaped?
It has not just taken off only in the United States, but Canada, the UK, Europe, Australia, South Africa, and Singapore as well.
Oh, planet Exxon.
What?
That's our planet. What about there?
Inside of the package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your entire solar system.
Let's go test it out on the crop circles we're gonna make earlier.
I didn't think y'all still did that. Isn't that like old school?
I think it is old school. This 4th generation trimmer also features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology.
Did you copy that, Houston?
Actually, yes, I did.
Good, because these spacesuits are a little tight around the crotch area over.
The Lawnmower 4.0 has a 7,000 RPM motor, a new multi-function on and off switch that can engage a travel lock, and is even waterproof. So yes, your adventure to Mars will be covered.
Is that faster than their rocket ships?
You can make your rocket ship faster because the Lawnmower 4.0 has a 4000K LED spotlight that you can turn on and off when needed for a more precise shave throughout your travels in the universe.
Faster than the speed of light.
Check it out, little alien dude. The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker, so you can also, do your crop circles. And it's like having a little astronaut around to chop up the worst weeds that are in your nose and in your ear.
Oh.
Guess what else, little alien dude?
What's that?
The Weed Whacker is also waterproof and uses a 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual blade system.
I don't know what any of that means, but it sounds awesome.
Well, what it means is that it provides proprietary skin-safe technology that will help prevent nicks and all those little delicate holes. Don't forget to use the Crop Preserver ball deodor and the Crop Reviver to help your little planets be on their A-game while feeling the sun's heat, because you're going to be a lot closer than we are here on planet Earth, dude.
This is true.
And just for you, little dude, and also everybody else that's listening out there, Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to their Performance Package 4.0. The Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. Get 20% off with free shipping using our code SUPER at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping with our code SUPER at manscaped.com.
Let's go back to Exxon and tell the rest of the civilization what's going on.
You do that, little dude. Get yourself aerodynamic and ready for liftoff. Your Spaceballs will thank you.
What the hell are the Super Media Brothers? Oh, lava.
Let's get into Ninja Strike Force, damn it.
If you want to call it that.
Dude, yeah, I swear, probably 20 minutes in, I know all 5 of us had this question. Why is this called Ninja Strike Force? There are barely any ninjas, and there's nothing resembling striking force happening.
Yeah.
Striking or forcing, no strike forcing, nothing.
Yeah, it was like Ninja Occasionally Strike Force. It was far less fight scenes. I was just so excited. So at the time, I obviously didn't know these movies were related. So I come back and instantly see the same costumes and Ninja on the headbands again. So I'm very excited for this one. And then Gordon comes back. Again, don't know these are related at all, but we got Hulk Hogan Gordon back in his costume. Yeah. And super excited. And so then they go through the whole intro. And they do the whole plot so quickly. They try to tell you what's going to happen in this movie crazy fast. And it reminds me of Step Brothers, where they're just like, did we just become best friends? Yep. That's what it felt like they were doing with the introduction of the plot. Boom, plot. And then you're not going to have anything else interesting happen the rest of the movie because we just told you what was going to happen and we are not going to fulfill any exciting points to keep you up along the way. So, yeah. And then I quickly realized these are probably meant to be kind of related movies with this much in common this fast. But yeah, that was sort of the introduction for me after having gotten through Cobra versus Ninja, but certainly not as many fights as rapidly as Cobra versus Ninja.
Well, yeah, I think they tried to give more filler and plot with the ninja side of it instead of just being booked fights between 2 ninjas. So yeah, you have a sword, the sword of catastrophe, and there's a ritual involved. Black Ninja comes in, kills home dudes. You must find this descendant of my master. Okay, I'm gonna go do that. And literally throughout half the film, he doesn't even do that shit.
Yeah, this is the perfect example of the cut and paste. plot, because I promise what happened is they took all the Ninja Master Gordon stuff and all the ninja footage they had, and they pasted it over a romantic comedy drama film.
This one, like I had way more trouble trying to figure out why most of this movie was necessary. Maybe I'm just dense, or I was losing it by the end of it. But I understand what he was trying to do, and I understand who this kid is. He's the son of but what I don't understand is, in the end, what actually happened? Why did that matter? I feel like this movie could have happened without any of the overdubbed old Asian movie stuff.
You know,
am I the only one who felt that way about this one?
No, I'm literally, that's verbatim what I thought, because I mean, I know we're skipping ahead pretty much to the end with that part, but I had the biggest fucking problem with that plot because of that. At the very tail end of the movie, none of the shit that happened mattered at all.
Yeah.
But like I said, we're not going to go too far into that just yet, because we still have to explore why this kid doesn't want to help Gordon defeat the Black Ninja.
Yeah, that. But I do want to point something out that I know anybody that's listening who is an old school wrestling fan will appreciate to hell and back. Can we talk about how when the Black Ninja shows up to steal the sword and he kills Homeboy's master, he hits him with that kabuki mist. He just spits that right in his face. He's like, hey! And then all of a sudden it wasn't in his face anymore. He clean face. He dies. But yeah, I thought it was funny how he was like, yeah, you need to find my descendant, all this other shit. And this man is Jim, a bellhop at a hotel. You can take your job and shove it. Jim, the bellhop, 1988.
He can't even hold a fucking job for more than a couple of days.
Hey, dude, can I take your bag?
Getting accused of stealing a silver lighter, because we all know how expensive those Bic lighters are.
Yeah.
It was planted on me. No, you clearly stole it. You may not be a thief, but you're desperate for money. Really? I'm desperate for like 5 cents?
Yeah. Quick, somebody on set. We need something expensive that a kid might possibly steal. Does anybody have anything expensive? All I have is this lighter.
Perfect.
Do we have some spray paint?
Yes.
That's that story.
And then Jim becomes a waiter where he almost fights this. To be fair, I would have probably fought this bastard too, but boss fires him and he's just like, fuck it. He leaves and tells him he can take his job and shove it. And then
he's got a mouth on him, that Jim.
Oh yeah. And then you get introduced to Mickey, who is not so fine and is not a mouse, but calls himself Mickey Mouse. Cheats at a game of cards, gets his ass beat, gets chased through Jim's house, which we forgot to mention. I think maybe that Jim is not so much of a lucky dude. He kind of is living a poor lifestyle. He's trying to get money, and he's got this kid that you don't find out until later that he found on the streets because, and I quote, he was retarded. The guy literally fucking says that. He's like, oh, yeah, I've found him. He was alone and retarded. So I pitied him and took him in. And not once do they actually allude to the fact that this child may have a mental handicap or anything. He's just a kid.
You know, there's two things about that. One, I can bet the dub voice was reading that script and was like, do I have to read this? Like, I don't want to say this. But also, when they tied up the kid with, I guess it was like a water hose or something.
Oh my God.
The dude was slapping the kid in the face, and the kid was just rubbing his cheek like, ha ha ha.
Oh my God. Okay, I shouldn't have been laughing at that, but I laughed every time that fucking little kid just got right in the face. Just
wait, but why were they playing Send in the Clown? I was trying to figure out what that had to do at all with what was going on, and they clearly didn't pay for that, but there it was.
They definitely like using other people's shit in their films.
I just thought about the Joker right then, just think about how that kid was getting slapped and we're laughing, and I'm just like, this is funny, and I'm tired of pretending it's not. God, what a God. But yeah, this is where we get the start of a beautiful friendship between Jim and Mickey, Which I'll be honest, if this movie wouldn't have been labeled Ninja Strike Force and it was something completely different, I might have actually bought into it a lot more, because I will say that at least this plot, the underplot of the ninja stuff, it did keep my attention a bit. If I'm being very honest, I was like, okay, I can see some of this. It's stupid, but it was keeping my attention. I just wish it wasn't called fucking Ninja Strike Force, because why?
I'm with you, Richie. I'm like, the only endearing piece of this entire 90-minute piece of vomit that I actually could tolerate was the Mickey Mouse and Jim relationship. And without getting ahead of ourselves again and how that ended, and them referring to each other as brother by the end, I'm like, that's actually, like, deep down, whatever original movie that was supposed to be before it was spliced with ninja fights may have actually had some redeeming qualities.
Yep.
Maybe.
Oof, it's hard to say this, but it was much easier to pay attention to than Cobra versus Ninja because of that. Because like they had a more meaningful bond or some kind of tie-in with the audience to kind of keep you into it. Besides the ninja fights, I guess you can go with.
Now, did y'all watch the YouTube clip, or y'all watch the one on YouTube that I sent y'all the clip of, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Cody and I kept laughing the whole fucking time because, okay, there's a scene where Jim is, I guess he's trying to get back out into the dating world because there's a subplot that he had this chick named Sarah that he's not with anymore or whatever. And so he's outside of this concert venue listening to some classical music being performed.
Yeah.
Well, this chick sits down with him and he's talking with her. And he says something to the effect of, he's like, the music is an escape. It's soothing. You can get lost in it. And no sooner than he says you can get lost in it, the video freezes for like 3 seconds. And we died laughing. We're like, he got lost. And the movie would freeze for a few seconds here and there throughout the rest of it. So every time it happened, me and Cody would be like, oh, they got lost.
I mean, it was just homage to the classic VHS skipping. Like every time it would skip, it was just like, oh, I feel like I'm back as a child watching old tapes.
The sad part is I feel like that's how that movie is.
But yeah, it was just, the transitions were way more jarring in this film because, like I said, you go from a ninja fight to just this peaceful, Jim trying to live a normal life, which I can kind of see where they were going with this one a little bit, not a whole lot. Because at one point, Gordon approaches Jim. He's like, look, I need you to tell me the secret of how to defeat the Black Ninja and get the sword back. And he's like, I don't know anything about that and quit asking me. And, he was just offended by it. He doesn't want to live that life. He even told Homegirl about it. He was like, look, I was a descendant of my grandfather who is this great ninja. I don't want to live that life. That's not what I want to do. I want to be a normal person. They're trying to show that he just wants to be a civilian. He wants to be this everyday Joe living off of what he can to make a living for himself and for Mickey and for this kid he found.
One thing that I feel like took me way too long to realize in this one was, or maybe you guys didn't know, I'm sure you did, how what was it, the sword of
Catastrophe?
Yeah.
Catastrophe. The sword of Catastrophe, every time it killed a ninja, it was like a performance meter.
Yeah, I saw that too.
It got redder and redder each time.
Yeah, it would literally go like a little bit higher up on the tip of the sword or on the blade of the sword.
Yeah, and then it reaches invincibility if it gets filled up.
One of the user reviews on IMDb, it cracked me up. It said, it works like a ninja death thermometer.
Yeah.
It's like he stabs the ninja's like, is he done? Yeah, he's done.
I thought Gordon was only supposed to, or the Black Ninja was only supposed to kill one from each of the 5 clans or whatever. It felt like there were way more than 5 fights.
Yeah, there were at least 6 or 7, I think.
Yeah, because
there was like a couple ones in white, one in pink, one in camo.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. All I saw was a floating sword.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It was like he was fighting a pair of hands. Then the whole "I'll teach him a lesson" thing comes back because
what the heck? Yeah,
because all right. So before I get to that, Mickey and I feel like shit because it didn't dawn on me until after the fact. Because I'm about to get to the "I'll teach him a lesson" thing, but going back to that, the heartfelt portions of this movie where Mickey is asking this balloon guy to write a letter for him to his family that he's finally happy in his life and he's got this great brother and all this other stuff, and he's just like, yeah, I tie it to this balloon so I can let it go. And he's talking to the balloon and he's like, it's your turn. Take this to my family. And I'm just like, it's not fucking Hedwig, dude. This ain't Harry Potter. This ain't no fucking letter owl. And then after I said that out loud, I was like, oh my God, I'm an asshole. He's totally floating this son of a bitch up to his dead parents.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. I was like, oh, I'm an asshole. And then I didn't feel like an asshole after that because then the whole Gordon shows up like to meet the rest of his ninja clan. He's just like, yeah, y'all need to stay away from them. And the red ninja's like, I'll teach him a lesson. And I'm like, God damn it. Here we go again.
Didn't we learn a lesson in the last movie?
Apparently not. And then Gordon is like, yeah, y'all need to stay away. And then they all disappear. Even the camouflage ninja that was already invisible disappears again.
Yeah. Yeah, they all have magical disappearing powers in this one, don't they?
Yeah. And then there's that random cut of Gordon with no shirt on where he yells ninja again. And there was no reason for that. He's just outside. And I think it was the exact shot from the intro.
Yeah, they replayed the intro and added like one extra scene.
Yeah, so, again, guys, because we know you fell asleep. Here's what we're doing. Ninja.
Just put a guy with no shirt on, beefy. I actually like wrote in my notes, Beef Gordon.
Yeah. Why does it sound like a dish, like a platter or something? Beef Gordon.
Hello, you fucking ugly old chaps. Here's my Beef Gordon recipe. Slams it on table.
You donkey.
You fucking donkey. Oh, the zoo montage. I forgot about the zoo montage where they're talking. It's Jim and Mickey, and he's asking him. He's like, oh, what about Sarah? Do you miss her? Jim, do you ever get lonely? Yeah. Let's go to the zoo.
So random.
Everybody listening, I swear on everything, that's pretty much how quickly that transitioned to a zoo montage.
Yeah.
I think there's a lesson in there for all of us, though, if we really think about it. I think we could all spend a little more time at the zoo.
Absolutely.
Observe the animals.
I actually
focus on life.
haven't been at the zoo for a while, so that's actually a nice little lesson for me.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can buy one of those cheap little plastic samurai swords that they sometimes sell to the kids in the gift shops. And if you just stand there and start swinging it around, the black ninja just appears.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then some of the white sword turns red from the blade upward.
Yep.
So if you're a kid with a fake katana and you get killed by this ninja,
how random would that be, though?
You see a ninja going through a park and just stabbing kids left and right, and his sword just gets more powerful. It's like, yes, finally complete.
They can only stab the kids that have the fake katana sword, though.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah, because they're the only ninjas. Yeah,
the true ninjas.
Mm-hmm.
Feel bad though. It was like this. You can make a whole revenge plot out of that. Kid hands his little brother the sword to hold while he runs to the bathroom. His little brother gets killed, and he comes back and he's like, "No!"
What was that film we watched with the twins? And one of them kills the boyfriend at the theater, and they blame the other one.
Oh, Blood Rage.
That's what it reminds me of. It's like here's the sword. He suddenly knows that there's a ninja coming to kill all these kids. Here, hold the sword. I gotta go to the bathroom. And he dies.
Yeah, it's like, my little brother has always annoyed me. Hold this. Yep, just disappears.
Well, it reminds me, since all the clans apparently are represented by a different primary color, it reminds me of those days in elementary where you break up into a bunch of colors and go do all kinds of outdoor sporting events and stuff. And so it's like that. So one of the ninjas gets confused and is just stabbing the kids in the different colored outfits, thinking that that's how he's going to like win or get his invincibility sword or whatever.
And that's why there's one in camo, so nobody can stab him. Nobody can see him.
He's John Cena.
Right.
Yeah, he's John Cena.
No, it's like Legends of the Hidden Temple with the temple guards, but it's a black ninja.
There's a sequence where Jim and Mickey, though, they're trying to make like an honest living because Jim is trying to convince Mickey to like not, be, like a thief or steal or, any of that stuff. So like at some point, like they're washing cars, but then there gets to a point where I don't know if it's a lemonade stand or if it's just a juice stand of some sort that they have on a trolley. And the gang people from earlier at the card game show up and God, they wreck the hell out of them. I mean, they even wrecked the juice stand. And I was like, what did that juice trolley ever do to you? They beat the shit out of them, though.
Outside of the ninja fights, that was probably the most like believable and interesting fight in that whole film.
Yeah.
Was that fight over like you looked at my girl the wrong way?
No, they were doing the juice stand, and the thugs came in. They literally taught them a lesson again. and they trashed their stand, and they started using pieces of it to beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, no, but like, what lesson did they have to learn?
I think it's just because
Mickey owed him money.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what. Okay, yep, you're right. That's what it was.
But I thought I thought they killed him right there at first, because when he kicks Mickey, like he flies up in the air, and then the back of his head hits the concrete, and he starts like blood coming out of his mouth. I was like, oh my god, he's fucking brain hemorrhaging. I thought he died right there.
Honestly, I think we realized like at the end of the film that might have been the start of the the tuberculosis, basically, because like he was already having issues breathing to begin with.
Oh my god, please remind me to say something about that in a little bit.
Well, that won't be hard.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. There's that was kind of confusing to me sometimes to find out like, oh, so that one they didn't die, because like we've seen like ninjas die from far less than what we just saw here. Yeah.
I think the shortest ninja fight was in this film. It only lasted like 20 seconds. It was the one with the shield, I think it was.
Yeah, the pink ninja and the black ninja.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's after Jim goes to that job that one chick, is like, oh yeah, I'll get you hired on to do your art and all that stuff. And the boss is like, yeah, I'm really impressed with your work, but if you could, like, let my son take credit for it because he needs to impress his girlfriend. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then the pink and black ninja 20-second fight happens.
Yeah.
All right.
And that fight, there's a lot of this going on, but there was one in this one that was comically bad. That there's a kick that did high damage, but so obviously did not land.
Mm-hmm.
That was in that fight. It's memorable.
I think
it's pretty bad.
But no, that whole sequence with the boss talking about his art, though, I misheard what was said like so bad, because he says, my son is the girlfriend and not my son has the girlfriend or has a girlfriend. I was like, yeah, just give the credit to my son. He's the girlfriend. And I'm like, wait, rewind that? What? Because the dubbing is so bad and the audio quality is so bad. Like you can kind of hear some words, but not all of them in the best sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that goes back also to something else I noticed. And this has to do with the copy and pasting stuff. So the character of Gordon, right? There's the point where they're washing cars and they have a shot of Gordon peeking around a corner and he looks at them and he just smiles and walks off. So instead of like any normal person that would just walk up and introduce themselves, which we never get Gordon introducing himself formally to him until he's, just all of a sudden magically talking to him and being like,
you mean harassing?
That's what I was getting at. Like he stalks him. Like he's basically stalking them, and then he harasses him. He's like, you are the descendant and blah, 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 and you need to teach me how to do this or whatever. Well, there's another point where he walks up and he's sitting there and he's just like pissed off. You didn't tell me the secret about how to defeat the ninjas. And I'm thinking, dude, you didn't fucking ask.
Like you didn't tell me the secret of Bush's baked beans.
You didn't roll that beautiful bean footage, you asswipe.
Ninjas are dying because of your recipe.
Well, I don't want to jump us too close to the end, but that, like, my only two comments are toward the end of the film. And the first is, the whole premise of this movie is that Gordon has been trying to track down Jim this entire time. He leans up against a light post and watches him watch cars. And then he finally gets a letter from Jim saying, here's exactly what you need to do against the Black Ninja. And he says something about the greatest action is inaction. And I'm like, oh, yeah. That means in the last fight, there's going to be this really cool moment where he doesn't fight back. And that's what defeats the Black Ninja. Nope, full combat. And then he ends the letter with, may the force be with you.
Oh my God. I was so fucking pissed when I heard that.
I laughed my ass off.
The Ninja Strike Force.
Yeah, that's the only force used was a ripoff of another movie.
And then the Mickey Mouse shaped yellow balloon. It was almost foreshadowing that Disney would own Star Wars a few decades later.
But yeah, to kind of go off of that ending, like I was so aggravated with that ending because what was the whole, like I said earlier, what was the whole point of the buildup for Gordon to try and find the secret from the ancestors, grandson or whatever, basically. And he finds out, literally don't do anything when you combat him. And like you said, he went full on combat with this Black Ninja and still fought him, even though in the very beginning, his own master told him he was not strong enough. But the whole film, he didn't do shit to get strong enough to fight him. He was already strong enough to do it.
I thought it was a perfect moment for there to be like this defensive move that was actually stronger, right? Like some martial arts are about using the attacker's momentum against them, right? So I thought there's going to be some really dope moment like that. And it was like, nope, it's just pretty much a regular fight.
Yeah.
He just stabbed the shit out of him. He's like, you know what? Fuck this. And he just stabs him and ends it.
Maybe what I was expecting was the only action is in action. It would be that this would be the first time that a ninja denies honoring a challenge card.
You deny that punch?
That's what I like the black ninja says, here's the challenge card. And then dude's just like, no. And then black ninja explodes. That's what I was expecting.
That would have been a much better ending, honestly.
What do you mean? You cannot deny the challenge card.
He looks at the car, is like, I can. It's expired.
And so will you.
It expired a year ago in the last film.
Speaking of alternate endings, did anyone else think that they were going to throw Mickey out the window?
Oh my
I
God.
fucking said the same thing when he was bringing him there. Okay, so for context, everybody listening, and here's the question that I had to bring up. Mickey has tuberculosis. Like, he has a very bad cough throughout the movie, and he's a heavy smoker, and Jim's trying to get him to quit this whole time. So when he's coming home from buying Jim a birthday present, and he gets the balloon guy, invited and everything, he coughs up blood and he falls off his bike. I thought he died right there. So he gets to the hospital. Have we all played Red Dead Redemption 2, or have at least gotten into the game a little bit? That guy had tuberculosis. He was coughing all over everybody. So everybody he came into contact with has potentially contracted tuberculosis. What a parting gift for his best friend brother. He's like, take me to the window, brother, and throw me out of it. Actually, no. He's like, take me to the window. I'm sorry I coughed all over you. You're probably going to have tuberculosis now. He's like, really? And just throws him out the fucking window instead of like just bringing him for his little sunlight where he can fly his balloons off. Because this is supposed to be this really emotional moment where he's like, my parents, please write this letter. So asking them to, guide me into heaven because I might get lost. And I was trying not. Okay, fuck it. I was laughing. I was giggling because I was like, this is so corny. Like if it hadn't been for the rest of this movie, I might have bought into that more. But I couldn't help but laugh. I was like, oh my God, he might get lost going up there. Is the movie going to freeze again?
I thought they were going to tie the balloons to him and send him flying
like an Up situation.
Yeah, Agent Up.
Yeah. That's where I thought it was going.
See,
that's where you play Send in the Clowns.
Yeah. Send up the clown.
Send in the frowns.
No, I was okay. I had an alternate thought in my head. Whenever he handed Jim the cake, I was half expecting Jim to just shove it in his face and trying to suffocate him.
That was another weird thing. Like,
he's like, brother, I know you're dying. Let me end your suffering. You don't suffer no more.
Oh boy.
I think I broke Richie.
Oh shit. Oh fuck, I'm crying. Oh God. I can't help but picture that poor bastard on the table. He's already losing strength and he's just having cake shoved in his face. And it should be like, you pie your friend's face, or you shove their head in the cake just to fuck with them. And this dude's just fucking ending his life. He's like, I know how you wanted to go out, so here's cake.
Yeah, well, I mean, the dude obviously liked cake. Like he's on his deathbed, and he can't help himself but to be a frosting pirate on an uncut cake.
It'd be funny if he actually did that as a joke to Mickey. And he's like, haha, brother, like a laugh or something. You just see the hand fall down on the side of the bed. It's like, Mickey, you bastard!
Zoom in on the frosting covered fingers. End scene.
Like Scary Movie 2. My germs.
Who cares about the ninja fight? No, this is how it ends.
I would say out of all of the stuff, like I said, I found this plot to be very frustrating simply because I felt that it just nothing mattered. Nothing mattered in this one. But the most frustrating thing I found about this one was there were no briefcases.
No.
And I think that was their biggest mistake. That's where they went wrong.
Yeah, no briefcases. Jim, let's Mickey release balloons out the window before he perishes, and the Black Ninja calls out the Golden Ninja Gordon for the final showdown and loses miserably and dishonorably. And that is the end of Ninja Strike Force. Why? Fuck this movie.
Might have turned out different if he had one of those explosive lemons, but here we are.
Yeah. I mean, the balloons could have even exploded.
Yeah, that would have been a good tactic. Should be called Ninja Strike Farce.
I don't even know where to begin with picking out of either of these fucking movies.
I mean, whoever wants to go first, like, because I know it's like a round table at this point. I mean,
okay, I'll go. So,
I thought they left the conversation. I was like, oh, they were like, fuck this, we're gone.
We're done.
Fuck these guys.
No, there's just a lot of thought that got to go into this one. Cobra versus Ninja had the pretty cool beach fight. But I'm going to give the edge to the Jim and Mickey relationship and say Ninja Strike Force was just barely better. And that Cobra versus Ninja was worse. Also, that does continue to cement Cobra versus Ninja as the worst film that I personally have ever seen. From my childhood, in fact. So I think that little bit of nostalgic disappointment should remain. So I'll give the edge to Ninja Strike Force as the better of the two terrible movies.
Fun little factoid before my vote. I found that Ninja Strike Force was also known as Ninja Operation 2, Way of the Challenge, which means somewhere in these Godfrey Ho movies is a Ninja Operation 1. But I'm going to give my vote to Ninja Strike Force because of the Ninja Death Thermometer, and also because I could actually somewhat kind of follow the plot, even though it was all irrelevant anyway. So Ninja Strike Force gets my vote.
I have a feeling I'm going to be the lone dissenter here. And it all comes down to one word, and that word is briefcase. Cobra versus Ninja had two briefcases that were both substantial to the plot versus Ninja Strike Force, where there was nothing substantial to any plot whatsoever.
So it gets two briefcases from Kendall.
It gets Cobra versus Ninja gets two briefcases.
2 out of 5 briefcases.
Yeah. Ninja Strike Force, 0 briefcases out of 5.
Your next, buddy.
Oh, well, I mean, like I mentioned about Cobra versus Ninja, it's a muddy mess of what the fuck is going on, but there's ninja fights. Now, granted, they had a couple of memorable moments, but like I could not follow anybody as far as who's interesting. Do they have anything about them that's worth being interested in? All I see is just literally a bunch of Asians fighting about money at this point, aside from the briefcases and the cool explosions and blah, 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 whatever. And Strike Force, the redeeming quality with this one is basically the same kind of cookie cutter concept, but there's a relationship being built between two characters that I can actually recall. Because in the first film, I didn't know anybody's names. Like, I only remember like 1 or 2. This one, I can consistently keep up with these two characters because they were actually interesting. Now, like you said, the plot had no fucking purpose whatsoever because it made no sense and had nothing to do with the ending. But I can still keep up with the characters in this one. The fact that the fight scenes were... The ninja parts was a little bit more fleshed out, I guess you can say. It wasn't just put in a fight scene and that was it. So, I mean, it's not going to be any tiebreaker here. Obviously, Ninja Strike Force won because I like that one for me.
And I'll go ahead and be the other oddball and say it wasn't the briefcases that did it for me. It was the explosions. The fact that people got blown the fuck up that I liked Cobra versus Ninja. Ninja Strike Force, the plot, like the plot, the B plot of the ninjas fighting. Had it not been called Ninja Strike Force, I probably would have picked that one. But Cobra versus Ninja delivered a couple of explosions. So I'll go with that one. So that's a 3-2. Ninja Strike Force wins this week's Cult Cinema Showdown. Holy shit, I can't believe it.
I mean, I can.
But what makes me laugh is if you look at the IMDb, Cobra versus Ninja, action. Ninja Strike Force, action, drama, fantasy.
Well, the real point of all of this is we're all the losers here because we had to watch both.
Yeah,
3 hours. 3 hours.
All the listeners are the survivors here because they don't have to watch this. They just listen to us suffer.
And then they think, I don't want to grow up and be a 30-something that wasted 3 hours of my life.
No, you don't.
I'll just waste a little bit of time watching the 10-minute director's cut of Cobra versus Ninja.
Yeah,
this is actually how your hairline recedes.
Yeah. What was interesting about Cobra versus Ninja on I think it was Rotten Tomatoes, they had the concept was a group of ninjas terrorizing a city and Cobra was out to stop them. And I looked at that and I was like, who came up with this? Because that is clearly not what was in the film if they watched the actual film.
Yeah, somebody was given the task of writing up that summary, and they just went, F it, I'm not watching this. And they literally just made up a synopsis.
It's like, what can we gather from the title alone? Oh, well, this guy named Cobra is defending against ninjas. Perfect. I'm going to just put that.
Perfect.
That was another thing, too. Like, all the ninja fight scenes, it seemed like an actual video game, like, fighting sequence, basically. Like, you hear all the swishing noises and the clanging noises and the And I just waited to hear, like, Mortal Kombat noise, like, you win.
I kept laughing at one of the final fight scenes. I can't remember which movie it was. I want to say it was Ninja Strike Force, where Gordon kept doing that thing where he was like crossing his arms over and then swinging like the sword out sideways. And the dude kept doing like cartwheel, like mid-air, like sideways cartwheels, dodging the blade every time. I think it was like 3 times in a row. I was like, how many times are they going to splice this together?
Mm-hmm.
Another thing, too, to point out, in Ninja Strike Force, the only way the ninjas actually died is when the black ninja pulled his mask down.
Yeah, because the one dude that looked, I think it was the white ninja too. Like he landed on the ground and he was still breathing a little bit, and then the dude pulled his mask down. He was just like, oh, so he gave up.
Well, that's clearly when you know the fight is over. So if you're not dead by then, you just got to go ahead and just let yourself go.
Give it up then, yeah.
Mask pulled down. It's over.
Shit.
I was killed by you. Oh.
He died of shame. He didn't even die of his wounds. He was like, oh, I'm ashamed.
That's what it is.
I'm so ashamed.
Yep.
But there was one of them that he didn't pull the mask down. So clearly that must have meant that he actually didn't kill that ninja.
Oh. That's why the sword wasn't
complete
all the way. Wasn't complete. Yeah, just the tip.
Yeah.
He couldn't beat Gordon.
What if the guy... go ahead.
I was going to say that surviving ninja is inevitably the plot of the next 12 movies with Ninja Gordon.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're the survivor. I must teach you the ways.
Teach him a lesson.
Yeah.
Teach him a lesson with a ninja challenge card.
That's right. I'll teach you a lesson for living. You're going to be in 12 more of these sons of bitches. And then the guy that was in like the previous 11 of these movies that fucking died. Like, finally, whenever the dude took his mask down, he didn't die because the guy took his mask down. He was like, am I done? He was like, no, this is just Ninja Strike Force. And he was like, Ninja Strike Force. And he fucking dies because he knew that they just shoehorned a romantic comedy end underneath it. So he died. So he died for real.
Yeah, the director right before the scene goes over and says, okay, you're going to live in this one because we need you to be in the next 6 movies. But we've only got time to shoot it once, so be convincing. And then right at the end of the scene, he lets himself die, and he's like, "Yep, sorry, director, that's it.
Yep, I'm done.
I guess I'm out. Count me out for the rest of the
No ninjas will harm
AF.
I mean, that's a way to get out of a contract.
That's his non-compete clause. He's done.
a DNR.
That's it. Holy crap. Yep. Thank God we're done with those movies. If you guys out there would like to listen to past, present, and future episodes, go to supermediabrospodcast.com. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. We're almost to 300 subscribers. That's kind of cool. If you want some merch, go get some. Just scroll up in the show notes and click the link, and it'll take you far away from the land of Godfrey Ho, where you can buy and copy and paste our products onto your bodies.
We need like ninja headbands with the actual logo on it now.
Dude, I'm thinking about it. I'm seriously thinking about it. Yeah. Follow us on social media. All the links are in the all the links are in the show notes below. I can't even talk. I'm ready to die like the ninja in Ninja Strike Force.
I'm telling you, as fans go through all of our cult cinemas, like you just see the amount of like dumbness that just increases with the two of us.
You just see the degradation of our brains just like done. Like, wow, you guys started off really fucking strong. 420 Massacre and Satanic Meat Cleaver Massacre. Hard Ticket to Hawaii and Miami Connection. Holy crap. And then they get to episode 80 of the Cult Cinema Showdown series and they're just like Cobra versus Ninja and Ninja Strike Force. What the fuck happened to you guys?
We'll get to episode 100 and be like, the movies were what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Live from our hospice.
We're like drooling, just, You
ever seen Aqua Teen Hunger Force where Shake eats the sandwich with the red sauce and the tomatoes on it?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be me by the time that happens. It's just, now eat it. I'm dead. But no, seriously, thank you guys for coming to hang out and do this with us and suffering through these two movies. We are terribly sorry that you suffered greatly.
No, man, this was great. We were excited from our episode where we had you on. We were excited from then to get to come on here and watch a couple really bad movies and get to laugh about them. So it was a total pleasure being able to join and hash out the movies with you.
Indeed, yeah, thank you. It actually was fun once the movie watching was over.
The misery wasn't so bad knowing I had company, meaning that somebody else was also having to watch 3 hours of this stuff. So it was good to know that we were not alone in our pain.
And now the next episode with all 5 of us is going to be group therapy to deal with this.
Fine. It's fine, yeah.
We'll get Dr. Phil on here.
How can you guys watch these movies?
Maybe we can just act like Dr. Phil is on and just copy and paste some dialogue in.
You're stupid. I hate you. I'm going to kill you.
Not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea.
No, it's not. I've thought about that just now. I was like, oh my God, let's just get him copied and pasted on here.
You can't paint the broadside of a barn when the chicken left the coop.
Now I want to go watch some Dr. Phil YouTube poops.
Send him to the ranch.
Send him out to the ranch. So if anybody out there would like to listen to From the Middle, tell everybody where they can find you guys.
Yeah. So you can search at From the Mid Pod, just like it sounds. We're on every podcast platform and pretty much most social media channels. And we also have a YouTube channel, so you can check us out there. And if you want a little bit of what we are, we're a kind of catch-all comedy culture, entertainment and interview style podcast. We like to pride ourselves on not being the loudest, most obnoxious voices outside of this example. But we try to have a more reasonable and fun and centrist approach to a lot of the topics and discussions that we like to have. So, at From the Mid Pod, literally everywhere. And, you can check us out on whatever platform you like to use.
Hell yeah.
So basically what y'all are saying is y'all not as moronic as us. Okay.
It's very
true.
No,
that's not what we're saying at all. No, that is not.
No. You guys have a great show. I genuinely enjoy listening to it. I look forward to episodes like every weekend. Like I'm in my route on my truck and I'll throw you guys in. And for everybody out there that is listening that hasn't listened to them before, they're really not kidding. It is a very relaxed and laid back show. And like the show says, and it's not just like a catchphrase or a slogan, you'll feel like you're not actually, you know what I mean? You're there. Like you'll feel like you're not actually listening. Like you'll feel like you're actually a part of the conversation. Right. It's the same.
Yeah, it's creepy when someone else says it.
But it's true.
We love it, man, and that's so kind of you. Yeah, we just want it to feel really relaxed and like anyone can be in on it. The most obnoxious voices in media tend to be the loudest, and we don't feel like that's representative of most people. And we're not a political podcast at all. It might sound like that's what we're teeing up, but we just want people to feel like they're hanging out at a coffee shop or in our living room, and we're just hanging out and having a more fun and relaxed type conversation. So if that's the vibe you get, that's exactly what we're going for, and that your words are very kind, and we appreciate it, man. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, means a lot. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. We appreciate you guys. So with that being said, Are you ready to roll out of here?
I'm ready to go roll into my bed.
Ready to go roll into your bed and dream about the pink, white, camouflage, red, rainbow ninjas everywhere, surrounding you at your bedside, protecting you from all of the bad ninjas out there they're trying to fill their sword quota.
Their punch card, you mean?
Yes. They're trying to fill their punch cards.
If I wake up to a metal shuriken letter, I'm going to come after you.
Fair enough. Once again, thank you guys over at From the Middle for hanging out with us this week. And yeah, we're going to catch you guys next week. I'm not even sure what the hell we're doing next week, but be there. And we'll be sure to talk your heads off about that shit. Whatever it is.
It's something stupid, but
Yeah, it's going to be something stupid. I know that for a fact. But until next week, I've been Midnight Agent Raw.
And I'm Okami.
Shades on.
Ninja!